me turn it on, make sure they're not facing me. You don't want to look into these because it is a class 1 laser. Some of you longtime people might know that I used to do competitive powerlifting and strongman, and maybe 10 years ago, something like that, the night before Thanksgiving, I was warming up. I had the barbell on. My shoulders had like 65, 75 pounds on it. Just getting ready to start doing my squats, and the gym was pretty cold. It was below freezing outside, and it was maybe 35, 40 degrees Fahrenheit inside the gym, so just above freezing. And I went down in one of those warm-up squats, and something felt weird in my knee. It turns out it was my meniscus tearing, and I kept training on it for months, and really hard for a couple of weeks because I was at the end of like a 5.31, and I was, trying to go for a PR and stuff. And I never had it operated on. I just kind of let it heal on its own. So it's always been kind of a nagging issue. So I'm always interested in this like recovery technology and healing technology and stuff, because I also have some other things that are kind of nagging, like this hand. I've dislocated this thumb twice. My friend had a mid-80s Celica when we were in high school, and to close the passenger door, you had to brace your thumb and hold the handle and shut it, and it had rained and it was wet, and my thumb just slipped, and that thumb pad over there was like pointing out this way, and we were like, I was 15 or something, my friend was 16, so he tried to put it back into place. Took 5 or 6 tries, maybe 7, and finally it went back in. So then I did it again like 6 months later on the same car door, and then I think I did it a 3rd time, and we got better at setting it each time, but my thumb is not quite in the right position, so I get pain there, and like I said, my knee and stuff. But yeah, I got this cool thing. Let's go inside and take a look at it, and we'll talk about it. And I think they're onto something here. Now, this is the Kineon MOVE Plus, and it's like a infrared and laser diode kind of deal. It's a portable wearable red light laser therapy device in their own words. They claim to have some like pain relief, accelerated healing. It's non-invasive, safe for daily use, all that stuff. It had some decent reviews on Amazon. I'm always a sucker for technology like this because of this thumb. This thumb always has inflammation in it because it's not set right and it just doesn't like it. But at this point, it's been like this for 24 years, 25 years. So I could maybe get it reset, but who knows what's happened since then. I just wanted to check this thing out. It has 3 of these units in it, and it's a band. You have your charging port here with a magnet, so it locks down in. I'll show you that. And you have the power button and everything. You can strap this to like your knee, shoulder, elbow, hips, ankles, back, neck, pretty much anything. Let me show you first what I don't like about it. The thing I don't like about it is I feel like the strap's not long enough. I feel like there could have been more in here. You can make it a little bit tighter, a little bit longer, but not enough to fit around my knee. So what I've done is when I use it on my knee, I used to use an ace bandage. I hold this around and just wrap an ace bandage around for the 15 minutes that I use it, or if you were doing it for 5 or whatever. Let me show you the charging first. I got this nice little case, this really cool blue USB-C cable. I love this color so much. It's like a Carolina blue, I think. I'm not a sports person, but I'm gonna start using this probably for my Cherry EMX Bluetooth keyboard to charge it, just because I like that color. So this might get stolen. You got this nice little charging brick here. It's got kind of like a rubberized plastic. And what you do here, and here's the only other thing that I do not like. These fit in here really tight. So if you have manual dexterity issues, you may have trouble getting those out. It takes quite a bit of force. And then like the magnet just holds it in. You put the 3 in. You've got your USB-C there, and it charges, I think it does 2 watts at 5 amps for each of them. That's the max. So it takes a little bit of time to charge, but that's also nice because then you're not like stressing the battery out with a bunch of heat and rapid charging. And then when they're charged, if they fall out of sync, you can sync them back with this button. The instruction manual talks about it. That way all the lights are synced. And we're just gonna go and pop it back in there. And there you go. You hold the power button down and turn it on, and it remembers your last setting. These are at 67% right now, 63, etc. It's set for 5 minutes. If you hold it once, oh, I held it too long. But you can change it to like 5, 10, 15 minute setting. You just want to take a look at like the quick user manual and stuff and figure that out. I left it on 15 minutes. That's what we've been using it for. But to talk about that, let's go ahead and move over to the chair. Pardon all the stuff. We've been here 9 weeks, I think now, and we're still like unpacking. It's just, We've been on the road so much and everything that it's kind of messy in here still. Have I noticed any benefits from this? I've used this for 14 or 15 days on my knee and my hand. Again, with my hand, with my knee, I just wrap it with the ace bandage. So with my hand, we'll go ahead and show this to you here. Let me turn it on, make sure they're not facing me. You don't want to look into these because it is a class 1 laser. You could cause vision damage. So I would not turn it on until it is in place. I just want to show you the light just for your benefit there. So yeah, but like for my hand, I would just do this and just sit here, you know. And you definitely start to feel a little, you feel a little bit of the heat as it's warming the tissue. Now the theory here is this light is penetrating the skin because of the type of red light. It can get through varying amounts of skin depending on the wavelength of the diode. I'm not sure what these diodes are doing for the wavelength. Assume it's going decent enough into the skin, and you can kind of tell that by the way my hand gets red and everything. It's so bright that it washes the sensor out, but just go with me here. So what it does is it penetrates in there and it gets into the muscle. In theory, it gets into the mitochondria, and there is some evidence that maybe it increases mitochondrial function, which is like the powerhouse of your cell, which can then, you know, benefit everything else. I don't know about all that. I'm not a scientist, but I've read a lot of literature on this stuff. I have that big panel that you use for like your face and stuff, and I've got like a mask one coming, and there's research out there. You can go look at it. DARPA has pioneered a lot of that research a couple decades ago, looking at wound healing and stuff. So there may be some merit to it. That said, anecdotally, with my N=1, I'm very pleased with this thing. That thumb, because it's injured and because it's not quite set right, when I do things that involve my hands, that gets very sore and fatigued very quick, much faster than this thumb pad does. And if I'm not careful, I can make it hurt for like a week or two. One time it hurt for a month until I had a friend that was a massage therapist actually get in there and massage it out. And she worked magic, and it felt great for like a year. Using this, my thumb had been hurting, and I used it for 3 or 4 days, and that pain just went away. And I've used it since, and it hasn't come back. And I've been using my hands a lot on projects and unpacking and moving stuff around and planting, you know, everything. Is it related to the red light? I can't be 100% confident, but hey, I'm going to keep using it. You know, I've got those compression boots over there that I use for recovery, and those things were expensive and they work. This thing's a little pricey, but it's not super expensive. Compared to those boots, it's like comparatively cheap. Definitely going to be a tool in my arsenal going forward. My wife has benefited from it. She's used it on her knee. She sleeps weird sometimes and kind of makes her knee hurt for like a week or so. And she's a teacher, so she's up on her feet a lot. She's not one of those teachers that sits at the desk. She gets up and just drifts around the class. She also walks to school. We live on the Navajo reservation, so the school's real close. But you do walk across a bunch of sand to get there. They've made a path, but it's just there's nothing growing on the path. So she walks a lot. And then we walk a lot around here. We can walk down there, and then we walk around the track for a mile or two. Or we walk down to the cattle guard at the entrance to the teacher area and back a couple of times, and you got some elevation gains. So her knee had been kind of aggravating her. And I will say this did go around her knee and fit just fine. It won't on mine because my leg's just too big. She noticed benefit from it. And now, yeah, I can feel my hand starting to warm up where that light's going. This is only on 5 minutes. I would do this for 15. And your hand's not going to get hot with like a heat pad or something, but it's going to get a little bit of warmth if you're using it there. In theory, that should help with the blood flow, which should help with recovery and stuff. Again, don't take my word for it. You'd have to try it and figure it out for yourself. Is this tool worth it? Can you afford it? You know, if you're a competitive athlete, if you're a semi-pro athlete, if you're just a recreational athlete and you've got a nagging injury or something, might be worth checking out. I'm very satisfied with it. We are not going to stop using it anytime. The materials are very well made. I'm going to turn it off here. Like the plastic here is very nice. It clips in here very solidly. I think like the only part that's really a letdown is kind of just the nylon, but what else are you going to use there, right? That's the best option. I just wish they were a little bit longer in each section. And you can adjust them some with the Velcro, but not as much as I would like. You could sit here on the couch, say you got a pec and shoulder issue, and you just turn it on and, you know, Bob's your uncle. If it's somewhere where it won't wrap around all the way or it's a little too tight, ace bandage. Something like the hand, you just hold it there. You know, you'll figure it out. I believe in the literature or something, they show someone doing like this around their arm. Obviously that won't work on me because I'm not a 5-foot woman. I'm a 6'1", 330-pound male. So, you know, you'll figure it out. What matters is the lighting. You can figure out your rig. I'm just rambling at this point. I really like this thing. It's really cool. Out of all of the infrared things I have, this is hands down my favorite. I apologize, the air just turned on if you can hear that. You do have 9 diodes in there. I'm assuming 4 are probably the laser and then 5 are probably just like an infrared diode, because I believe it has 2 different kinds of diodes. They're definitely different sizes. You've got, you know, 2 of those per unit, so you're getting a lot of light in there, and it's not like that panel I have where you're just like bathing your whole body. And with that thing, even if you wear like the goggles that comes with it, you can still see red through it. Probably not the best thing for your eyes, but this is more like a spot treatment. I'll have a link to this in the description and sticky comment. That is the Kineon MOVE Plus. Pretty cool thing. Let me know if you've used anything like this. Let me know if you've used this. And I'm really curious because I do have those nagging injuries, and I plan to start using the high school's fitness facility soon to start lifting again now that it's like right over there. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.